I don't feel too much anything when people question what I've prided myself over the years on this game.
Here is LeBron, puts the brakes, rejected. James misses on both. Wade curling in, came up short. Here's Chalmers. Game is over.
In the last possession, we ran a play for Rio. Rio got a good look, escape dribble, and it just didn't go.
And with that, we say, what's up? Welcome into the latest playoff edition of NBA Tonight. Jonathan Coach alongside the smooth lefty of Fab Five fame. He is Jalen Rose. You know, in Game 2, the Miami Heat, for the first time in franchise history, had only 2 players score more than 5 points. LeBron James in the fourth quarter, Jalen, came up small. Game 3, Indiana. LeBron, Dwayne Wade hoping for a bounce-back game. They would not get it. D-Wade struggled early. He struggled often.
And the rest of the Heat actually had a pretty decent first half. There was a point in the first half where the Miami Heat made 10 consecutive field goals.
Yeah, but Wade's first career scoreless first half of the postseason, 0 of 5 from the floor. So the third quarter, after the score was tied at 43, Wade came out aggressive, still couldn't hit really anything.
Continued to struggle, and I have some other names for you. Battier, Pittman, Cole, Haslam. They totaled 0 points.
Well, Paul George lays it in there. Now, during a timeout, Eric Spoelstra, Dwayne Wade kind of get into it a little bit. Wade yelling at him, more on that coming up in a little bit, but that's the kind of frustration, Jalen, the Heat were experiencing mostly in the second half on this night.
That normally happens when you're the kind of player that Dwayne Wade is and you go 2 for 13 from the floor, only make 1 free throw, yet you have 5 big turnovers.
You have to wonder on some level if he is just not healthy. Danny Granger, big. He had 17. Pacers go up 11, but check out this sequence here. Next Pacers possession, Granger, he loses the ball and he grabs LeBron James's jersey. Let's flash back. Game 2, these two got into it a little bit.
LeBron James, a perennial all-star and MVP 3 times. Danny Granger has been an all-star. When you're going against a great player, you can't give him an inch because he'll take a mile. You give him a rope, he'll turn into a cowboy. So you have to stand your ground like Granger is doing, but don't get ejected. Stay in the game. Keep your cool, continue to play good basketball.
Clearly, he had a bunch of jerseys there. Granger would get teed up. LeBron misses the free throw. Now check out Lance Stevenson. He actually gives the choke sign for LeBron James.
Young fella, you have a lot of promise. However, you got to keep the bench warm, keep the towels warm, keep the Gatorade in the players that are getting minutes hands. Do not be fueling fire for the team in red, especially when you're not going to be playing minutes.
The Heat, horrible from three-point range. We'll give you their stats in a moment. But the fourth quarter, how about the big fella, as you like to say, Roy Hibbert, 19 points, 18 rebounds.
There we go, there we go, there we go. And turn it over the left shoulder with the hook, right shoulder with the hook. Big fella was working it down low.
So there you go. The Pacers just terrific in the second half, outscoring the Heat by 19. The numbers staggering. Dwayne Wade just 5 points. Lowest scoring playoff game for him since 2004. LeBron and Wade combined for 52 in Game 2, just 27 combined in Game 3. How about from three-point range? Just 5 for 42 in the first 3 games. That's good for 12%. Big Roy Hibbert, 19 and 18, first Pacers player with a 15-15 playoff game since Jermaine O'Neal in 2006. But after this game, all anybody could talk about was the dust-up between Eric Spoelstra and Dwayne Wade.
That happens. You know, anybody that's been part of a team or has been a coach, been a player, you have no idea how often things like that happen. That was during a very emotional part of the game. We were getting our butt kicked. Those exchanges, you know, happen all the time during the course of an NBA season.
He's definitely going to play better. I mean, you know, like I said, he's looking forward to Game 4. I mean, he definitely didn't want to come into Game 3 and play the way he played tonight, but, you know, it was one of those games where he couldn't make a shot, he couldn't get into a rhythm. And, you know, as a team, we just tried to pick it up, and we couldn't do that tonight.
Dwayne and I have been together for a long time, We've been through basically everything, you know, in a lot of different roles and a lot of different teams. That really is nothing.
Can you tell us anything about that?
No.
Is that just part of the passion of the game, part of the heat of the moment, trying to get going, searching for answers there?
I don't even remember what y'all talking about.
Well, LeBron James didn't exactly have a stellar night. He had 22, but Dwayne Wade, wow, the numbers you look at him. 5 points, as I mentioned, fewest in a playoff game since 2004, which was his first career trip to the playoffs. And in un-Wade-like fashion, he only took one trip to the free throw line all game. So let's bring Jalen Rose back in now. 2 of 13 from the floor.
Check.
He gets into a shouting match with Eric Spoelstra.
Check.
Do we still give him a pass for playing badly and not stepping up when he needs to?
NBA playoffs, there will be no passes, coach. He had 2 field goals, 1 assist, 1 free throw, 5 turnovers. No Chris Bosh, which means if the Miami Heat plan to advance, they're going to need Dwayne Wade and LeBron James up over 25 each per game, 1 over 30, 35. And if Dwayne Wade is going to go scoreless like he did in the first half, that puts the team in a position where they can't win, especially when you have other players that are coming in off the bench that aren't being productive. He's got to be effective, efficient, be dominant, and also a closer. If he's not going to be that, it's going to put the Heat in a position to where their next game is going to be very important, because you know if you go down 3-1 in this series, it gives the Pacers a lot of confidence to put themselves mentally in a position that maybe they can close this thing out.
Well, they do have a couple of days off. They don't play Game 4 until Sunday back in Indianapolis. I should say Mario Chalmers did have 25, a pretty good offensive game. But are you buying what Eric Spoelstra is selling as far as that argument is concerned?
I absolutely am. That does happen often. And as a coach, you hope actually now this is going to springboard Dwayne into a great game. You can yell at me, yell in the stands. Go out there and make your next 4 shots. That's the only thing the coach was thinking. And Dwayne Wade, a 2006 Finals MVP, he's led this league in scoring. Alonzo Mourning and Pat Riley, they know he's going to get on the plane tonight, walk past the coaches, and say, my bad. You guys need me to play better. I lost my cool.
So they're going to get on a plane, fly around, and land back in Indianapolis?
Oh, that's right. They are playing. They might as well go home, right?
They may feel like going home right now.
Man, do something.
We got to give the Pacers some love, because I'm getting crushed on Twitter. Coach, how about the Pacers? We're playing well. What do they do so well in the second half to kind of turn this tie ball game at halftime into a blowout?
They have a throwback, a traditional center down low. His name is Roy Hibbert. Now, granted, he is playing against Joel Anthony, Udonis Haslem, Dexter Pittman, and Ronnie Turiaf. None of those guys will ever be considered the next Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I think that's safe to say.
But he's dominating his position. 19 points, 18 rebounds, 5 blocks. Doing it in a traditional way. Now it opens it up for the perimeter players. George Hill, he was tremendous. So was Danny Granger. So was Paul George. And that's what it's going to take. Balanced effort, multiple players playing well, if the Pacers plan on advancing.
I'll tell you this much. They did not celebrate after Game 3 like they did in Game 2. They are focused, and they know now they're good enough to beat the Miami Heat.
In the face, I knew he was in trouble, trouble, trouble. Here you see LeBron James splitting the defense, going left off of the right leg. That's very tough to do for a right-handed player with a